Something strange is happening aboard Mystique. Chief Stew Aesha Scott, usually the unshakable heart of below-deck Mediterranean, looks more tense than ever. Her usual laugh and bubbly confidence are still there, but behind her smile, you can almost feel the worry building. Because when the producers told her the next charter guest was someone she'd served before, her face said it all. Jack Freeman was coming back. The last time Aesha had Jack on board, back in Below Deck Down Under Season 2, he'd been charming, yes, but also particular. He wanted everything done his way, down to the way his shirts were folded and his champagne was poured. And this time, Aesha knew he'd be even more demanding. But what she didn't expect was how this repeat guest would challenge her new stew, Victoria V. San Juan, in ways that would either break her or turn her into the strongest member of the interior team. As the new charter approached, Aesha's mind was spinning. V was still green, still learning, still fumbling with napkin folds one day and linen changes the next. Yet there was something in her, a spark that Aesha couldn't ignore. "I feel like this is a backhanded compliment," Aesha confessed in her interview, half laughing, half admitting her surprise. "But I'm actually shocked by how quickly V's been learning." Moments later, producers flashed a montage. V's first perfect table setting, Aesha smiling with genuine pride, V cheering, "I finally mastered how to put a duvet on." Tiny victories, but on Below Deck Med, those moments count. But this wasn't just any test. This was Jack Freeman, and he didn't come to play. When Aesha broke the news to her stews, Kizzi, Kitchener, and V exchanged nervous glances. Upon arrival, Jack would like the stews to unpack for him, Aesha told them. It sounded simple, until Jack arrived at the dock with 7 full suitcases and 40 pairs of shoes. "I will warn you, I've brought a lot," Jack said, half smirking as Aesha's eyes widened. "How many are you talking?" she asked. 7, he replied casually, and the entire interior team froze. That was the moment Aesha realized this wasn't just another guest. This was an avalanche of work waiting to bury her stews alive, and all eyes were on her leadership. Inside, Aesha was torn. She wanted to protect her girls, but she also knew this was V's moment to prove herself. Having guests like these, they're very specific with what they like, Aesha admitted in her confessional. So I hope Kizzi and V can keep up and deliver the standard I need to give them. Meanwhile, below deck, chaos was already brewing. As Kizzi tried to count hangers, V unzipped suitcase after suitcase, each one overflowing with designer clothes and perfectly folded shirts. "I've never seen this many clothes in my life," Kizzi muttered under her breath. They both laughed, but there was panic in their eyes. If they failed to unpack perfectly, Jack would notice. And if Jack noticed, Aesha's leadership would be questioned. But somehow, V rose to the occasion. "The guest started packing her own suitcase," she said later, proud and glowing, and I was like, "Yeah, it's already done. Like I got it, girl." For Aesha, that moment was everything. Watching her green stew confidently take charge made her feel something rare on below deck, pride mixed with relief. And yet, just as things were going right, something even bigger was about to go wrong. Aesha didn't know it yet, but Jack's arrival was only the beginning of a much deeper storm, one that would test not just V's skills, but Aesha's faith in her own instincts as a leader. Before we dive into the next part of the story, where the chaos behind the laundry door spirals into something no one saw coming, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the drama that's about to unfold aboard Mystique. Because trust me, this charter is just heating up. As the sun set over the Mediterranean, the mood aboard Mystique changed. The golden light hit the decks, the waves shimmered like glass, and yet below that calm surface, the pressure on the interior team was beginning to boil. While guests laughed over cocktails and sunset dinners, Aesha was pacing the pantry, checking glassware, linens, and the laundry, because she could feel it in her gut. Something was off. The crew had survived the luggage chaos, yes, but now came the real test, keeping that impossible standard every single day of the charter. And when the chief stew feels the tension, it spreads like fire. Kizzi, the second stew, was flustered and falling behind on turndowns. The laundry room was a mountain of towels, and the clock was ticking. Meanwhile, V was bouncing between cabins, trying to restock minibars, fluff pillows, and serve cocktails, all while remembering which guest preferred what garnish in their drink. For a rookie, it was chaos. But somehow, she didn't crack. Instead, V started to shine. She'd watch Aesha out of the corner of her eye, mimic her calm tone, her efficiency, her precision. Slowly, quietly, the green stew was transforming. "I'm actually really proud of her," Aesha said later in her confessional, a rare softness in her voice. "When V first joined, I was worried she might drown, but she's swimming now, maybe even keeping me afloat." It was a side of Aesha fans hadn't seen in a while. The mentor, the leader, the big sister figure we met seasons ago, now guiding a new stew through the storm. But of course, Below Deck Med doesn't let peace last long. Halfway through the charter, the unimaginable happened. Jack, ever the demanding guest, decided he wanted to throw a last-minute themed dinner party, with only a few hours' notice. His request? A white-on-white table setting, down to the flowers, napkins, and candles. The deckhands were busy preparing for water sports, the chef was deep in prep, and Aesha was left scrambling to create luxury out of thin air. She looked at V, who was knee-deep in laundry, and said, "All right, it's time to see what you've got." What followed was pure chaos and magic. V darted through the interior like she'd been doing this for years. She found the white linens, polished the glassware, and improvised with what little decor they had on board. When Aesha came to inspect, her jaw actually dropped. "This actually makes me so proud," she whispered, almost to herself. The table was flawless. The symmetry, the simplicity, the sparkle, it was something straight out of a luxury yacht brochure. When the guests sat down and started complimenting the setup, Aesha couldn't stop smiling. It wasn't just pride, it was vindication. Her gamble on V had paid off. But later that night, when the guests had gone to bed and the crew finally took a breath, Aesha let the exhaustion catch up to her. Sitting alone in the galley, she laughed softly and said to the camera, "I've written a little poem. I'm a bit worried about V because it rhymes with Bry, and I've got PTSD from last season's laundry." The producers cut to a flashback, piles of laundry, overflowing baskets, Aesha stressed to the breaking point with Brie Muller during season 9. Then back to Aesha now, smiling, relaxed, finally trusting again. That's the thing about Below Deck Med. It's never just about the guests or the sea. It's about growth under pressure, learning who you are when the waves crash hardest. And for Aesha Scott, this season wasn't just about running a perfect interior. It was about rebuilding her faith in the next generation of stews. By the end of the charter, even Jack seemed impressed. His 7 suitcases were packed, labeled, and ready before he even asked. He grinned at Aesha during departure and said, "You've trained them well." And in that one line, everything came full circle. The demanding guest who once drove her team to the edge had unknowingly become the reason they leveled up. As Mystique pulled away from the dock, the mood on board shifted from exhaustion to relief and pride. Aesha looked at her team and said, "Girls, you smashed it. I'm so proud of both of you." Kizzi laughed. V teared up. And for the first time this season, Aesha didn't feel like she was carrying the team. She felt like they were sailing together. But just as fans know too well, the calm after a charter never lasts long. The preview for Episode 5 teased new guests, a possible crew argument, and one major interior shakeup that could change everything. Aesha's leadership might be solid, but is it strong enough to survive what's coming next? The season is shaping up to be one of Below Deck Med's most unpredictable yet. And with V's confidence growing and new tensions bubbling beneath the surface, one thing is certain: the drama on Mystique is only just beginning. If you loved this deep dive into the latest Below Deck Mediterranean episode, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss the next breakdown of all the shocking twists coming in Episode 5.